Thank you, Vice President McCullough, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We especially thank you for your patience as we're having difficulty getting our live YouTube stream up. That is a work in progress. I have been notified that the one participant of the audience who is asked to speak virtually is on the line with us and can join us, so we will proceed. Call this meeting to order at 7:06 p.m. First item on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda. Board members, any changes to tonight's proposed agenda? Administration.
The administration has no changes.
Before we take a vote, I will call on the one member of our community who was asked to speak on this particular topic, and I will recognize Mr. Ben Dallas in just a moment. Before I recognize Mr. Dallas, I do also recognize that we have a number of people in our audience tonight who have pre-registered to speak on a specific agenda item, and I will call on them when that agenda item is up. As you may know, members of the public may also speak at the very end of the meeting under the notice of hearing of visitors. So for anybody who intends to speak tonight, including Mr. Dallas virtually, or anybody who has pre-registered to speak on a particular agenda topic, or anybody who is waiting to speak at the end of the meeting, I'd like to have your attention for a moment, please. When you speak, you will be allotted 3 minutes to speak. Our board attorney, Mr. Jeff Johnson, will keep time, and he will let you know as your time is expiring. Please introduce yourself by name and state your address, please. And please be particularly attentive to the next instruction I'm about to give. I'm certainly aware of the sensitivity of the subject matter that we're discussing tonight. In keeping with the policies that we have observed in our school board meetings, also in keeping with Robert's rules under which we are governed, please be aware of this. No PHM school board member, administrator, employee are to be called out by name. The public is certainly welcome to talk about circumstances and facts and give their opinion about circumstances and facts. But no PHM school board member, administrator, or employee shall be called out by name. If that happens, I will stop you. If it happens repeatedly, you may forfeit your time. Please use orderly and dignified language and tone when addressing the board tonight, and all comments are to be addressed to the board as a whole. Repeated violations of these instructions could result in the forfeiture of your remaining time allotment, and the board does not respond to questions or comments posed during the hearing of visitors or at any other time. With those instructions in mind, please take a moment, if you have written a speech, to adjust your speech accordingly. And Ms. Hugenboom, we will bring in Mr. Ben Dallas, who is asked to speak on the adoption of the agenda.
Good evening. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you just fine, Mr. Dallas.
Okay. So my name is Ben Dallas. I live in Mishawaka. Got 4 kids that go to this school. Tonight, I'd like to add to the agenda that tonight's resolution must include 2 additional names on the resolution. Since I can't say their names, they are the president and the vice president of the school board. If one board member has to resign, then all 3 should have to resign. Now, I don't know how true these allegations are about the school board member in question tonight, whose name I can't mention. But if they do turn out to be true, then yes, he should do the right thing and step down on his own. However, last I checked, there has been no criminal charges or convictions regarding these allegations, meaning at best, all this school board has against him are alleged violations of school board policy. I'm looking at 2 board members tonight, right now, that have routinely violated school board policies and have not been held accountable yet. Okay, the school board president admitted to violating Indiana Code 20-26-3-7. Yes, that's a state statute. When he openly admitted to exercising powers outside of the boundaries of the school corporation while tasking the communications director to target myself by using school resources without a board decision or vote. The other board member, the vice president, he violated the same state statute when he took it upon himself to contact my employer, trying to get me fired. Both of those actions are also in violation of the board powers policy. Okay, that's board policy number 0122, by acting unilaterally without a board decision or a vote. Furthermore, by repeatedly voting against third party investigations into their own illegal actions against me, they also violated the conflict of interest policy. That's policy number 4113. For these illegal actions that have already been proven and or admitted to, yet zero consequences have happened either times. So any resolution that doesn't include those two names is nothing more than a political stunt pulled off by partisan hacks. Bottom line, if one board member has to go, then all three of them have to go. Now, you may see many far left teachers union members here tonight. I wonder where this same enthusiasm was when a sex worker was recently allowed to teach nonverbal special needs children, or when there were school board members as well as the superintendents that are in attendance tonight that violated state law and school board policies. Where was that same enthusiasm? I've never seen it yet. So will any of this be mentioned by them tonight? Or will be
Mr. Dallas, thank you very much. Your 3 minutes have expired. We appreciate your input. There's nobody else who's been registered to speak on this topic. So do I have a motion to adopt the agenda for the Tuesday, May 14, 2024 special board meeting as presented?
I so move.
Second.
All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposed vote nay. Motion carries by a vote of 5-0. Next up is the discussion action item, and the discussion action item is regarding an alleged criminal sexual misconduct by a school board member. Dr. Thacker, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, President Riley, Board of Trustees. Tonight, we're here to discuss the alleged criminal sexual misconduct by school board member Matthew Chaffee. We have a resolution calling for the resignation of trustee Matthew Chaffee. Board Attorney Jeff Johnson will read the resolution.
Thank you, Dr. Thacker, President Riley, and members of the school board. The proposed resolution reads as follows. Resolution calling for the resignation of trustee Matthew Chaffee. Whereas, through the recent publication of a local news outlet, the Board of School Trustees of the Penn-Harris-Madison School Corporation has learned of certain alleged activity and actions of trustee Chaffee, which, if true, would constitute criminal sexual misconduct. Whereas the allegations of trustee Chaffee's misconduct include A, multiple alleged incidents involving prostitutes, B, one recent incident involving a prostitute in which the prostitute robbed trustee Chaffee and stole his wallet, C, that trustee Chaffee's sexual appetite for prostitutes has spanned the country, and D, trustee Chaffee suffers with problems of alcohol abuse. Whereas trustee Chaffee has allegedly admitted to the publisher of the local news outlet that he has in fact engaged in unlawful activity by paying prostitutes for sex. Whereas, following publication of the article by the local news outlet, school board members and school board corporation administrators have been contacted by members of the community expressing their concern regarding the alleged activities of trustee Chaffee and voicing that he is not fit to serve as a trustee of the school corporation. Whereas trustee Chaffee was contacted by the board attorney and offered an opportunity to address these allegations. Through his attorney, trustee Chaffee responded, quote, "There will be no response forthcoming from Mr. Chaffee," close quote. Whereas a special meeting of the school corporation board of trustees was held on May 14th, 2024 to review and address these allegations as set forth above. Now, therefore, the resolution to which the undersigned trustees of the school corporation consent to and adopt reads as follows. Be it resolved that the school board calls upon trustee Matthew Chaffee to immediately resign his position as a trustee of the Penn-Harris-Madison School Corporation. This resolution is hereby adopted as of the 14th day of May, 2024.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Board members, any questions or comments?
Yes, Mr. President, is there any way that we can amend this resolution or no?
Not at this point, no. We would have to do that during the adoption of the agenda. Any other questions or comments? We do have 4 members of our public who have asked to speak on this particular agenda topic. I will call them off in the order in which I've received them. Same rules and instructions apply. Please, 3 minutes. Please do not call out any school board member, administrator, or employee by name. You're welcome to talk about circumstances, but not about people. With those in mind, I'll call Mrs. Christy Witt.
Got my clown nose. So my name is Christy Witt. I live in Granger. And you ever hear of that game I Never, where someone makes a statement like, I never go to the circus when it comes to town, and if you do, you drink? Well, we're not going to play that tonight because you'd all allegedly be drunk. Your hypothetical and hypocritical resolution is opening up Pandora's box. The superintendent walked around like a giddy schoolboy showing an article of alleged behavior of a board member. Was it about the president taking on a lawsuit involving his colleagues on the board? Awkward. Was it about the breaking Indiana open law or silencing parents before a vote? Is it about the VP emailing a parent's employer hoping to get him fired? Maybe he's shocked that the majority voted no to opening an investigation on why there was a reopening of an investigation after the police said there was nothing to see, so the parent ended up being banned from school property for 2.5 months. Maybe the article was about PHM suing social media while a website called Officially Friday PHM shows Penn's high school finest posing like they're holding guns. Never forget when the superintendent told a politician that he was afraid of the banned parent because he's a vet and has guns. This resolution is sinister and personal. The union teacher union president sent a mass email for teachers to show up, be there or be square. Imagine paying union dues to be told what to do like a Kool-Aid drinker. Never mind the band coach who talked about getting vitamin D on Friday night next to the color guard tweets. Certainly don't bat an eye at another adult around our children who went from Polly Pockets to now dressing as Rainbow Bright. Are your personalized fair games too? Divorces, alleged kink where your loved ones dress as naughty Catholic schoolgirls? Any lawsuits you've been involved in? This can't be what we mean when we discuss the triangle of success. What if I allegedly saw somebody last night at Salsa's and they were talking to someone about helping them and giving them a call? Rumors can be hurtful. It didn't matter to the board when a principal's husband, because of personal issues, showed up on school property while my children were there, but now you're all clutching your pearls in a humiliation ritual. Your resolution now should include teachers, admin, and staff. You all should leave. You don't get to pick and choose and be judge and jury. So let's recap. You arrest a parent to intimidate. You reach out to parents, employers to intimidate. You call your herd here to intimidate. You use your media connections to intimidate. You are bullies. You fit your own definition of bullying. You broke policy with the closed door meetings, OCR, violation of 6 policies, and 1 state violation of FERPA and surveys. Is it PHM's position to hand out right-wing blogger articles to staff about a PHM alumni and school board trustee? Is this one of your fear tactics to intimidate any conservative school board candidate? Look what will happen to you. Watch out. We are more powerful and take you out if you oppose our agenda. For years, the same board members tried to get you all to denounce CRT, but the real issue with CRT is C, Chris and Claire, R, Ryan, and T for Thacker.
All right, that's enough.
Yep.
No more mentioning the school board members' names. I appreciate that you did it at the end of your remarks, but I'll not tolerate it during people's remarks. Next up is Tracy Coda.
Hi, my name is Tracy Coda. I live at 401 West Adams, Osceola. I'm here tonight as a parent. This is what happens. A parent wins an illegal SAC state complaint and gets arrested. A parent wins a civil rights complaint and gets banned. A board member exposes 6 policy violations and gets crucified. A board member calls a parent employer and gets promoted to the vice president, which we didn't even put him in that seat. A teacher gets exposed with proof and they get promoted and awarded. Many people come here and say that Real News Michiana is just a blog, just a right-wing blog, and we have hundreds of articles, and now you're going to use it against somebody. I just find that ironic. This is intimidation. It's bullying. Penn-Harris-Madison is saying and doing anything against us, and we will go after you and with your own tax dollars. This isn't about board member. This is about power and intimidation. This has not a leg to stand on. It's disgusting. You're disgusting.
Brent Curtis?
My name is Brent Curtis. I have 2 children in PHM schools. I have one question. What are you trying to accomplish? The outward appearance is that you want to silence a board member who is not afraid to speak out against you. And to do so when he is not here to defend himself shows a lack of courage, a lack of class, and a lack of common human decency. If you were truly concerned about individual behavior, no one would be exempt. There's plenty of questionable activity to look into. You simply don't like it when someone challenges you or points out your less than transparent exploits. There's no denying it. You have a history of attacking those folks, trying to bully them. That is the epitome of tyranny. I'm all for investigating acts that are criminal in nature, but those investigations, until proven and substantiated, should be done quietly and not in the public eye. Innocent until proven guilty is the foundation of justice in this country. But instead of confirming a person's alleged behavior, you prefer to publicize details in the hopes of embarrassing them. As you've proven in prior investigations, when you find yourselves to be wrong, you don't retract statements or accusations, you don't admit mistakes, and you certainly don't apologize to those who are affected. As long as you achieve the public humiliation, mission accomplished. I am just as concerned with potential unethical and immoral behavior by this board as I am with alleged criminal behavior by an individual. People who are unethical and immoral have no conscience and think they are above reproach. They only care about advancing their own agendas. My way or the highway is how they govern. Any collateral damage along the way is inconsequential. Your fellow board members should be treated with more respect than that. The students, staff, and families of PHM deserve better. I'm not picking sides. I'm pointing out the inconsistencies in how you operate. Rules are rules and laws are laws. If they apply to one, they apply to everybody, at all times, like it or not. You don't get to subjectively decide who or when. I'm sorry, but you don't have that authority. You are not that important. Following rules, bylaws, or any expected code of conduct should not be arbitrary. If you hold one to those standards, then hold everyone to the same standards equally and without prejudice. You recite the Pledge of Allegiance before every meeting. The last phrase of that pledge is justice for all. Not just some, not a select few, all. If you aren't going to follow it, then why recite it?
Thank you, Mr. Curtis. Shelley Creed?
Thank you, President Riley, Dr. Thacker, members of the board. I'm Shelley Treeley, and I live at 429 Calhoun Street in Mishawaka. A trustee supports and promotes the school's mission, vision, strategic goals, and policy positions. I'm coming to speak tonight at one of our saddest moments in PHM history. To be fair, we have had other black clouds, but never in my career have we had to deal with something as egregious as a sexual criminal accusation by a school board member. Where's the accountability? There are school board policies, 3231, Indiana Code 2026-511, and Indiana law, Senate Bill 342, that denounces sex offenses for public school employees. Why resign? If the administration had become aware of a teacher who had allegations of prostitution against him or her, without doubt, swift and severe action would have taken place. The teacher would have been removed from service. The PHM issued computer would have been confiscated and scrubbed due to the allegations that were sexual in nature. The teacher would have been placed in what is commonly referred to as teacher jail. I know this because teachers and aides have been placed there for far less accusations. And the teacher would have to stay there during their due process. Teachers are considered guilty until proven innocent. I would expect the same procedures to be implemented by anyone who is accused of criminal misconduct and receives financial compensation and benefits from PHM, especially someone who is on our school board of trustees. One thing I know for sure is I would be doing whatever I needed to do
to clear my name. I would be completely transparent to my community and the people I serve, or if there was truth to the allegations, I would resign. If there is ever a time to speak up and defend your character, it's when sexual criminal accusations are made. And if I couldn't speak, I would expect my counsel to defend my integrity and dignity on my behalf. Our community deserves accountability. Our community deserves transparency.
Thank you very much, Ms. Treeley. Board members, based on public input, any further comments or questions? Okay, hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the proposed resolution calling for the immediate resignation of trustee Matthew Chaffee as presented?
I so move.
A second.
All those in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, vote nay. That motion carries unanimously. We'll move on to the hearing of visitors. Given the rules and instructions that I previously laid out, is there anybody else who would like to address the board?
Again, my name is Brent Curtis and I have 2 children in PHM schools. It can no longer be downplayed or brushed aside. This board is losing trust and credibility by the day. Coercion and collusion are rampant. Now your behavior is bordering on corruption. You like to judge and condemn others for their actions, but you give yourselves a free pass for comparable or even worse behavior. You've directed personal attacks. You've tried to publicly humiliate people. You've tried to get a parent terminated from his job. You've tried to change bylaws to avoid being held accountable. Those are not actions of confident and capable leadership. Those are actions of a group that is scared, defensive, and unsure of itself. Unfit, untrustworthy, and unscrupulous also come to mind. Some might claim incompetence, and it would be hard to argue otherwise. Your votes are laughable. Everyone knows that 4 of you are going to vote against the other 3 every single time, without exception. Trying to veil that under the guise of majority rules is disgraceful, and you should be ashamed and embarrassed. Recently, these same 4 voted against a motion to simply provide more time for the board to review materials and information. That vote shows a degree of apathy that is incomprehensible and inexcusable. I'd be willing to bet that any attorney would ask for more than 2 days if one of his court cases had over 600 pages to review. I would hope the board president would give his clients their deserved attention. PHM should be given the same. The reality is that some of you are in a position from which you likely will never recover. You have brought your character and your motives into question. Every action you take is under suspicion. Regaining the trust of PHM families will take an admission of mistakes and a public apology. It will require a level of humility and a strength of character I have not yet seen. If you aren't willing to do that, then don't. Just know that there is a fine line between persistence and stubbornness, pride and ignorance. If this leads to your undoing, you will have the comfort of knowing your troubles were self-inflicted. You will have no one else to blame.
Thank you, Mr. Curtis. Anybody else?
Hi, my name is Christy Witt. Again, I still live in Granger, and in a couple of weeks, my daughter's graduating, and I cannot wait. These last 4 years have pretty much been a nightmare since COVID. Just when you think the school board couldn't get any crazier, you double down by deflecting on the real warts of this district. Time after time, you've been caught not acting in the best interest of this community. When you deal in facts, you realize how corrupt this board is. Teachers want to feel supported, kids want to learn and be engaged and encouraged, and parents want to just know their kids are receiving the best education possible. You've all turned PHM into the Jerry Springer show, weaponizing your majority to create a fake resolution because you don't like that you're actually in the wrong. Instead of bringing us together to celebrate the end of the school year, your union president also abused her power by hyping up a sensational event.
Careful now.
At this point, you
Please
could.
stop calling out people by name or by their
I didn't say
position
anybody's name.
or by position that is identifiable.
At this point, you could create Drag Show Friday and field trips to Sunny Haven. All of a sudden, this board holds the high moral ground, but not until you've overstepped your power of position and been slapped down with multiple laws and policy violations. Creating this alleged sexual misconduct resolution shows the lengths you will go in a political witch hunt. Instead of apologizing to the community, you try to further divide friends and neighbors. If you are quick to create resolutions on tabloid hearsay, you may want to make sure you and your family have no skeletons in your closet because you are going down a road that you'll never recover from. It's a sad day at PHM, and whoever thought this was the best way to take down their fellow board member, you may want to take a look in the mirror. And I'm horrified that you have teacher jail. Teacher jail, this is really what happens at PHM, teacher jail. They say something wrong on the internet, they do something wrong in the classroom, and they're sent to teacher jail, and you're proud of that? My husband's a teacher. I've never even heard of such a thing. That's horrifying. What are we doing? And just because my daughter's graduating doesn't mean I'm not coming back.
I think teacher jail is an allegory. Okay, who's next? Hearing nobody else, we'll move on to board reports and requests. Board members, anything to report or request? Hearing none, we'll move on to announcements. The next regular meeting of the Penn-Harris-Madison Board of School Trustees will convene on Monday, May the 20th, 2024 at 7 p.m. There being no further business before the board, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I so move.
Second.
All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposed vote nay. Motion carries unanimously. We're adjourned at 7:32 p.m.